structures and enum and typedef and all, right? So, any doubts or any queries in the previous sessions? If you are having any doubts or any queries in the previous session, please let me know. Yes, yes, exactly. The poll which I shared in the group, let me clarify that one also, and we'll move forward. So the question was, let's say suppose if we are going to have a variable declared with logic A, okay? So what is the range of values which we can represent using this A, or what is the range of values which we can store in this variable A? Now, can anyone tell me what is the range of values which we can store in this variable A? Yeah, 0, 1 exact is the data types which we can store, but I'm asking about the values from what is the range of values which we can represent. For example, in the case of byte, we have seen minus 127 to plus 127, right? So in the case of your logic, you can only store either 0 or 1, and it's an unsigned data type. If you are just simply going to declare it, it's an unsigned. Okay, and it can only store 0 and 1. Okay, so is it clear for everyone? Yes. Okay. So let us start with this session. Yeah. So first, let us see about what do you mean by structures in SystemVerilog, right? So basically, anyone knows you can watch the recordings which I have uploaded in the group. Okay, I will also share the playlist, so you can let me show you. Just go to the channel all about VLSI, and you will find out a course which is known as SystemVerilog Full Course B3. You can watch the recordings over here. Okay. Anyways, I will share this playlist also. Yeah. So coming to this discussion which we have started is structures. Okay. So before that, anyone knows what do you mean by array? We haven't started about anything about array, but if you have already studied in C language or any other language, what do you mean by an array? Exactly, group of elements of same data types, right? So array is also used to store the data, but those particular data should be of same data type. Exactly, a set of values stored in a single, not a single variable. So basically, if you want to make a group, those particular elements are of all same data types, right? Now, coming to structure, structure is also used to store the data, right? But here, in the case of your structure, you're not going to be just limited to a same data type. You can have different data types. Okay. So basically, a structure, the keyword which we are going to use in System Verilog is struct. Okay. In System Verilog, which is a user-defined data type, composite data type that allows you to group different type of variables under a single name. Okay. So this is how you are going to declare a simple structure using the keyword struct and curly braces. This is one element with a data type int, and this is one more element with data type string, and another element with bit 7 down to 0 each. Okay. Now, so this is how you can simply store different values inside your struct. Okay. So let me show you one example for this. So we need to go to tools and simulators. Yeah. Let me declare a simple module, and let me declare a simple struct, and let's say I have some ID and string name. So these are the two properties which I'm going to have. Okay. And next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare a simple structure name. Okay. So let's say then the structure name is person. Okay. Now, so within an initial beginning block, if I want to assign the values of this ID and name, I can assign those values. Okay. So how I'm going to assign ID is equal to 1. Okay. And name is equal to, let's say my name is Gaurav. Okay. So like this, we can assign the values of the properties which are present inside my structure. Okay. That's it. Now, I think we haven't started about two-state data types, right? I think still short int, long int, these are pending, right? Yes or no? Okay, okay. So once we will go back to that particular thing and we will come back to this structures, okay? I haven't remembered that, I haven't covered that. Okay, once we will go back to this particular things and we will come back to this. Okay, it will be a short discussion. Now, so yesterday we have started with this bit. So bit is a single, only one bit. It can only store either 0 or 1, and byte is it's assigned and it can store 8 bits of data. Right. Now coming to shortend, it can store 16 bits of data. Okay. So it can store 16 bits of data, and it is also signed. Okay. And coming to int, it can store 32 bits of data, and it's also signed. Okay. And long int, it can store 64 bits of data, and this is also signed data type. Okay. So this was about your short int and long int. And in Verilog, do we have int? Do we have int in our Verilog? So what do we declare in Verilog if we want to have an integer variable? So we are not going to use int. We are going to use integer. So normally in interviews also we will get confused with this integer and int. Okay. So integer is present in Verilog, and this integer is a four-state data type. Okay. So this integer is a four-state data type, and we have one more thing as int. This is present in SystemVerilog, and it is a two-state data type. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me the default value of this integer? Default value of this integer. X, exactly. So the default value of your integer is X. Okay. Your four-state data type is going to have a default value of X, and int default value is basically 0. Okay. Please remember this. Okay. So that was about your short int, and long int. Okay. Now coming back to our structure example, we are going to have a simple um structure where I'm going to have two properties, ID and name. And let's say if I want to display this structure, what I'm going to do is $display. The value of ID is percentage %d, comma. The structure name is person dot ID. And here also you cannot simply write down ID. I need to use the structure name dot ID, and person dot name is equal to Gaurav. Okay. So I need to use this variable dot the field name and variable dot the field name. Okay. Then only I can assign. Okay. And let me declare display this. Let us see what we are going to get. Sorry. I need to use semicolons over here. Yeah. What happened to this? Okay. Sorry. Okay. So the value of ID that is getting printed is 1. That's it. It's this is how you are going to create a simple structure, and this is how you're going to print it. Okay. So any queries or any doubts in this structure, please let me know in the chat box. Yeah. Shall we move forward? Yes. Yes. Now let's say if I'm going to have this structure, so for loading the data into the structure, I can use this structure name dot the field name. Okay. So what I'm doing, structure name dot field name and structure name dot field name. This is one way of loading the data or having the property values. Okay, so this is case one, which I'm going to have. Now, I have one more way of filling the data or filling the or giving the property values. What I can do is, this is my case two, where I can simply write down. You can see. So person here I have declared any. Okay, so I'm simply writing down P is equal to the structure name. And this operator is known as concatenation operator, where we are going to use for storing the data directly into the structure. Let me show you how to write it down. So person is equal to tick. Let's say the name, first one is ID and next one is name. Okay, within, since it is a string, we need to use it in the double quotes. And let me run it again. Let us check it out whether we are getting it or not. Yes. Okay. So you can directly simply add it, or you can use a property. Okay. So you can just use this handle dot property name, or you can just simply write it down. The structure name is equal to the operator, and you can directly assign the values. Okay. So there are two ways you can use now. So let's say if I want to display the entire structure. Okay. So let's say if I want to display entire structure, what I can do is I can simply use $display the structure person is percentage p. So percentage p is a format specifier where it is going to convert the structure into a packed format. Okay, I will explain what do you mean by packed format and what do you mean by packed array. So let's declare it and let us see what are we going to get over here. So you can see it is basically converting it into packed format. The structure person is ID is equal to 1 and name is equal to go. Okay. So this is how you can store the, this is how you can initialize the values inside your structure, and using the two cases, or you can also display them by using the two ways. Okay. So is it clear for everyone? Yes, different we will come back to that memory allocation and all while discussing about the difference between your structure and union. We will discuss. Okay. So is it clear up to here? Shall we move forward? No. So let us see some snippets about this. 1 minute. Let me open it. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible. So I have taken a simple example and I have declared a structure. Okay. Now, so within an initial beginning block, I can use simply structure name is equal to this operator, concatenation operator, and I can store the values directly into my structure. Okay. And if I want to display it, I can use percentage %p for displaying the entire structure. And this is way one of displaying, storing and displaying my structure values. And if I want to modify these property values, I can use this structure name dot the property name, and I can print it. Okay. So this is how you can declare a simple structure, and that is what we have seen in our code also previously. Let me run this example and let me show you. Okay. So we are simply getting the structure name and whatever the values we have stored in it, and we are getting printed. Okay. Yes. Now let us try to understand one more example. So in the second example, we have declared a simple module, and in this module, we are going to declare. Okay. Before going to this directly, where is this? Yeah, first let us see this example. This is second example we are going to discuss is structure inside another structure. Okay. So in this example, what we have done is simply we have declared a structure, and we have declared a model, and this type def we haven't started yet. So you don't need to worry about this. Okay, we will see one more example without type def where it is. This is structure using type def. Okay, let me 1 minute, structure inside. Yeah, we will see this example. I will remove this type def. We haven't started this discussion. Okay. So I have declared a simple structure. Now in the structure, I have declared one property which is known as street number and another is city. Okay. And I have declared one more structure. Okay, let me write it down manually. Uh, with this type def, you will not understand now. Okay, let me write it down manually. While using percentage %p, we are going to print entire structure without any comma for separation. How can we include? I didn't get your question. Can you please elaborate it? So module example, and in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a struct, and I'm going to have int a and int b. Okay, so this is one structure which I'm going to declare. Okay, and the structure name is p1. Okay, now in the same structure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare one more structure, struct int m and int n. Okay, so this is one more structure which I'm going to declare. Okay, and this structure name is p2. Okay, so this is what I've declared in this particular thing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to within an initial beginning block, if I want to access this a, okay, how to access this a, p1 dot a is equal to 10. Okay, and let's say if I want to access this m, how to access it? I'm going to simply write down p1 dot p2 dot m is equal to 20. Okay, and followed by end module. And let me display this dollar display. The value of e is percentage d comma p1 dot a. Okay, now let me run 1 minute. I'm getting a call. One. Yeah, sorry for that. So let me share my screen one more time. So what we were discussing is we are basically we have declared one structure, and inside this structure I have one more structure declared. Okay, now if I want to access this a, I can simply write down p1 dot a is equal to 10, and if I want to access this m which is present inside another structure, what I can do is p1 dot p2 dot m is equal to 20. Okay, let me display the value of m also. Dollar display, the value of m is percentage d comma p1 dot p2 dot m. Okay, let me run it and let us check it out what we are going to get. Yes. Okay, so the value of a is 10 and the value of m is 20. So is it clear? Any doubts or any queries in this structure inside another structure? Great, great. And if you carefully observe, and if you carefully observe here, uh, it's more like it is more ambiguous. Like we are going to have more code. Like if the structure is going to have more number of properties, then it is more difficult to understand what is exactly here, right? And let me show you one more example also where we are going to get little bit confused in that particular thing if we are seeing it for the very first time. Let me show you. So let's see that particular third example also. Where is it? Structure. Yeah. Yes, this one. So we have seen structure declared another inside another structure. And okay, before that, let me display the entire structure also. Dollar display. The value of P1 is percentage P comma P1. See, I'm getting the value of A is 10, B is 0, and I have one more structure inside this particular structure, that is P2. And inside that, I have the field values as M and N, which is M is equal to 20 and N is equal to 0. Okay. Yeah. So this was that structure inside another structure. Now let us see declaring structures inside our module. Okay. So how to declare your structure inside your module? Let us try to see it. Okay. So structure in a module port. Okay. You can have structures declared as your module ports. Okay. So let us see about this particular thing. Let's say if I'm going to have a module which is known as person underscore processor, and inside this, the input port which I'm going to declare is input, and it is a struct. Okay. Int id, and the structure is going to have int id, string name, and inside it I'm going to have one more struct which is going to have two properties again, int street number and string city. Okay. And this is the internal structure name, that is address, and the out structure name is in person. And this is nothing but my input port. Okay. So basically I'm going to have a module like this, and for this module, as an input port, I'm going to have a structure defined, and inside this I'm going to have one more structure, and an output port I'm going to have one more structure. Okay. So where the output port I have a structure, and inside the structure also have one more structure present inside that. Okay. So this is my output port which is declared as a structure and have one more structure declared inside it. Okay. And inside this module which I have written, what I've done is I'm going to write down out underscore person is nothing but my structure name, dot id is equal to in underscore person dot id. So what I'm doing, whatever the id value which we are going to get, we are assigning it to this id. Okay. So the input id which we are going to get, we are assigning to this id, and out underscore person, that is this structure, and the field name is name, is equal to in underscore person dot name. So whatever the name which we are going to get over here, we are assigning over here. Now, and let's say the street number, what we are doing, out underscore person dot addr dot street number is equal to in underscore person dot addr dot street number plus 10. That is what we have written a simple code for this. So first of all, tell me whether this code is clear. Uh, Declaring structures inside your module, is it clear? The code, is it clear? Please tell me so that we can see the test bench for this. Yes, always underscore comma will explain. So it says keyword which we are going to use in our SystemVerilog to replace your combinational logic for using it in your combinational logic design. Okay. So instead of writing always at the rate star for your combinational logic designs, you can include always underscore com. Okay. I will explain it. Okay. I'm getting only few responses. What about others? Shall we move forward? Shall we see the test bench? Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay, I will explain it one more time. So what I've done here is I've declared a module, and this module name is person underscore processor. I've declared a simple module, and the input of this module is a structure. Okay. Can I use input as a structure? Is it a valid thing? Can I have module input ports as a structure declared? Is it a valid thing? Will the compiler accept it? Yes or no? Okay. What about others? What do you think? Will the compiler accept it? Yes, definitely it will accept it because it's a data type, right? We are still in discussion of data types. Okay, structure is a data type. Okay, is it clear? So structure is a data type. We can use it. No problem in using it. Okay. So what I've done, simply I've declared a module person underscore processor, and input is a structure, and inside this structure I have one more structure present in it, and output is a structure, and inside this structure I have one more structure which is present in it. Okay. Now within an always underscore com, or you can simply write down, if you're getting confused with this particular thing, you can simply write down always at the rate star. Okay, both are same. So if you are going to write this out underscore person dot id, that is this value id is equal to in underscore person dot id. So this id is being copied to this id. So the id which is present inside this structure will be copied to id which is present inside the second structure, and the name which is present in the first structure will be copied to the name which is present in the second structure, and the street number which is present in the in the first structure, that is input, will be copied to the output. That is what we have done. Okay. I hope it is clear, right? Now, now let's say we are going to write on the test bench. Now in the test bench also we need to first of all declare that particular structure, which is int id name, and inside it we are going to declare the street number and city, and we are going to declare two variables for this structure. Okay, in underscore person is also structure, and out underscore person is also the variable which is present. Okay, now what are we going to do is we are going to instantiate. How I'm instantiating in underscore person, and out underscore person, I'm assigning out underscore person. Okay. Now for in underscore person, I'm giving the values. Okay. So how I'm going to give using the concatenation operator, I'm going to provide the ID, name, and address. Okay. Now, so what I'm doing, I'm displaying the things. Okay, dollar using the dollar display, I'm going to display the things. Okay, and also I'm going to display the out underscore person things. Okay, now let us see what are we going to get. So is this code clear? Any doubts or any queries in this? So just I'm providing the input structure values from the test bench. That's it. I'm not doing anything. Okay, yeah. So is it clear for everyone? Exactly. I'm adding 10. Exactly. Okay. Let me run it. Okay, sorry. This is test bench, right? Test bench. Let me copy the design also. So what I'm getting, the things are getting copied from the input structure to output structure. That's it. Okay. So whatever we are giving it into the test bench, that are being copied to the output structure. That's it. Okay now. Is it clear for everyone? And you can see city we have left blank because city we haven't written anything. That is why there is no value which is present in the city field. So is it clear for everyone? Yes or no? Please respond in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah, I can use anything. I can also use initial begin and block. There is no issue in that. Okay. Yes. So any doubts or any other queries in this? No. So I have one more question over here. Let's say if I'm going to take a simple module, and for this I'm going to declare a struct int A and int B. Okay. And for this I'm going to declare two names. Now if I'm going to write down simply p1 dot a is equal to 10 and p1 dot b is equal to 20. Now let me display dollar display. Now can anyone tell me what is the value of p2 dot a which is going to be displayed? I think you have already seen the answer. No error. So if we are going to have two variable names, which we are going to have struct int a and int b and p1 and p2. Okay. So here, if we are going to assign p1 dot a and p1 dot b is equal to 10 and 20, and if we are going to display the p2, we have already declared the p2. So if we are trying to store the values inside this p1 structure, those values will not be initialized into P2. Both will have different memory locations. P1 and P2 will have different memory locations. You can see over here, P2 dot A is equal to 0. Okay. Since we are assigning P1 dot A is equal to 10, it is not going to reflect in the P2. Both are different. These both are different variables which we are going to. Is it clear? Yeah, yeah. Default value of int is 0. Exactly. Yes. Yes. So that is about your structured data type. Now, next we are going to see about something known as typedef. Okay. So how this typedef is used and why this typedef is used. So I will give you a brief intro. So if you can see over here, you are if you are going to declare the input variables, then with a structured data type, you need to write this much of long code, right? So if you are going to use a typedef, then if you can create your own data type, okay, and using the typedef, your writing this much lines of code will be reduced. Okay. So how and what we are going to do, that we will discuss in our next session. Okay. Yes. So that's about this particular session. If you have any doubts or any other queries you wanted to discuss with me, you can stay and discuss, or else you can leave the session. Okay. Thank you. Good night.